So we've got our surface area to volume lab, and you can actually do all this lab without actually being here. So we're going to walk through how you do all the calculations. So down here we have the sides, and it's a cube, so it has all three sides are the same length, width, and height. To find the surface area, we're just going to take length times width, or just two of these, times 6. So in this case, we're going to have 0.5 times 0.5 times 6. And you're going to figure out what the answer is there. I will go ahead and do it on my calculator here. 0.5 times 0.5 times 6. We get 1.5. So I'm going to go back and write 1.5. For volume, that's the inside area. We're just going to take length times width times height. So 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Again, I'm going to go back to my calculator here in Google. 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5, and we get 0.125. So 0.125. Now, what we need to do is basically figure out what's the best deal. Yesterday in a worksheet, if you weren't here, no worries, but in a worksheet, we figured out that the surface area is kind of like the cell membrane. And it's really good if that cell membrane is big because it has lots of openings. If you think about a big stadium and everybody in that stadium wanting to get out at the same time, it would be fastest if there were a lot of doors, a lot of openings, right? Same thing for the cell membrane. It can transport stuff really well if there are a lot of openings. So we want a big number for this. And the key, though, is we don't want a big inside area because the problem is, let's say you have to get from one side of that stadium to the other. It's going to take a really long time if that stadium's really big. So while we want a big cell membrane, we don't want a big inside area. So we're going to compare the two in a ratio, and that will give us an idea of what the ratio is and how well this cell will transport materials, comparing both of the things. So we're just going to take our surface area number, 1.5, and we're going to do the two dots. The two dots mean a ratio. We're comparing it to 0.125. Or 0.125. Notice it says, make sure it's simplified. Simplified means we've got 1 on this side, okay? So the easy way for me to explain this to you is you just take the left number divided by the right number, and you put it next to 1, okay? If you want to know why we do it, it's because we need to get 1 on this side. So we're going to divide 0.125 by itself. So 0.125 divided by 0.125, we're going to get 1 on this side. And then anything we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we have to also divide that by 0.125. Again, if you don't want to think about that, just take the left divided by the right number. So I'm going to go to my calculator here. And I have 1.5 divided by 0.125. And notice I'm going to get 12. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go ahead and write that my simplified ratio is 12 to 1. The only thing you can't be here for is this, okay? And basically what happened here is we have these cubes and they're green and we put them in vinegar and they change color as they absorb the vinegar, and we're recording which one changed color the fastest, meaning which one could move nutrients in the quickest, okay? So I filled that in for you. You just have to fill in the surface area, volume, and the ratios.